Mid-States hockey at its best. This is every high school hockey player's dream to make it to the final game of the St. Louis High School Challenge Cup. Some have termed it the mother of all Mid-States Hockey League games, but no matter what you call it, John Brereton, it's the final game of the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup, and there's a lot on the line this evening.
Absolutely, Randy. The world has the Olympics. Quebec City has the Quebec Pee Wee Tournament, and St. Louis has the St. Louis Blues Challenge Cup. And this is emblematic of supremacy in mid-state hockey. And like you say, there's an awful lot on the line for the two teams that are in tonight's game. Parkway Central Colts and the Kirkwood Pioneers, the defending champions from last year.
We started out with 27 teams at the beginning of this season, 27 varsity teams. Every team with the goal of making it here, and now we have two, as you said, the Parkway Central Colts and the Kirkwood Pioneers. Do you feel that the Kirkwood Pioneers, since they've been to the Final Four 3 of the last 4 years, have a slight advantage?
Experience counts definitely in business, in sports, and anything, but ironically, that the players, they mature and they grow at different levels, so that the players that were winning in the previous years that carried the load are really not necessarily the players that will be out here tonight. So consequently, I think experience counts for maybe 40%. On the other hand, I think it's intensity, desire, dedication, determination, and drive, all of those tangibles that's going to bring out the winner here tonight.
It seems that maybe Parkway Central, since they haven't been here, maybe they have a little more determination, a little more drive, due to the fact that they're a hungry squad. They haven't been here, and this is their big chance.
That's a good point, Randy. Hunger, both teams are hungry. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Really, I think it's going to boil down to the team that is best prepared, and again, from a preparation standpoint, they'll both go into the game with excellent game plans. It's going to be execution and implementation. The bounce of the puck, it's all the minor intangibles that win hockey games. So I think that's exactly what we're going to find out tonight.
Bob Johnson said that this is a great day for hockey. Indeed it is at the St. Louis Arena, the final game of the High School Challenge Cup.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 21st Annual Mid-States High School Hockey Tournament Championship game. This game will decide the 1992 Mid-States High School Championship and the winner of the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup. The teams are the Parkway Central Colts and the defending Mid-States champions, the Kirkwood Pioneers. Parkway Central finished the season winning the Central Division with an overall league record of 19 wins, 2 losses, and no ties for 38 points. Kirkwood finished in first place in the South Division with 17 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie for 35 points. At this time, we'll announce the rosters of both teams. We'll announce the non-starters first, and then the starting lineups for each team. For the home team, the Parkway Central Colts. On defense, number 3, Craig Sumner. Also on defense, number 4, Trevor Henry. Forward, number 5, Chris Mortillo. Forward, number 6, Andy Sandler. Forward, number 8, Pat Vining. Forward, number 10, Lee Kleiner. Forward, number 12, Greg Lyons. Forward, number 14, Aaron Stoller. On defense, number 15, Brad Turner. On defense, number 16, Matt Neuwirth. At forward, number 19, Todd Kaufman. At forward, number 21, Matt White. Goalie, number 30, Aaron Vicker. Now the starters In goal, number 1, Scott Bokel. On left wing, number 9, Brad Cranston. On right wing, number 11, Tyler Henry. At center, number 13, Ken Holzschlag. On right defense, number 22, Sean Gerhardt. And on left defense, number 24, Jeff Sinnott. The Colts are coached by Ken Whitbroads, assistant coach Mark Starr. Now the non-starters for the Kirkwood Pioneers. And a forward, number 3, Bill Eckerd. On defense, number 4, Todd Almquist. On defense, number 5, Tim Mitchell. At center, number 7, Ryan Jackson. At forward, number 9, Eric Quint. And a forward, number 11, Matt Neiman. At forward, number 12, Dale Sunbakken. On defense, number 16, Adam Cross. And a forward, number 17, Kyle Coggin. Forward, number 19, Ethan Lewis. At forward, number 20, Eric Johnson. Forward, number 23, Brian Schultz. Forward, number 24, Eric Hisserick. Goalie, number 1, Nick Augusta. Now the starters for the Pioneers. In goal, number 32, Kit Barella. At a wing, number 2, Craig Herwick. At center, number 6, Ryan Gurl. On a wing, number 8, John Caney. On defense, number 14, Ian Campbell. Also on defense, number 33, Mark Thawley. The Pioneers are coached by Greg Griffin. The officials for tonight's game are the referee, Bob Cunningham. The linesmen are Rick Eschelbach and Mike Shaper. Tonight's official scorer, Colin Feeney. The goal judges are Rich Schweigler and Ed Martz. Now, before tonight's opening face-off, we have a special award from the St. Louis Blues Alumni Association and the St. Louis Blues, the High School Hockey Scholarship Award. To present the award from the St. Louis Blues, Rick Mahar.
Thank you. The St. Louis Blues Alumni Scholarship Award is given annually to the MidStates High School senior hockey player who is in good standing with MidStates, who best exemplifies qualities of leadership and good sportsmanship, who demonstrates a strong involvement in school and non-school related activities, and has a grade point average of at least 3.0. This year's winner is captain of his high school team, one of the leading scorers, vice president of the student body, and maintains a 4.0 grade point average. The winner of the 1992 $2,000 Blues Alumni Scholarship Award is Tyler Henry from Parkway, Suffolk. Congratulations.
Thank you, Rick Mahar. Have a good game, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for our national anthem? Performed tonight at the organ by Ernie Hayes. Our soloist is Lynn Humphrey.
Lynn Humphreys with the national anthem, something that you don't get to see all that often in Mid-States high school hockey games. They're kind of doing it special here because this is the finals of the playoffs. That was Ernie Hayes on the organ. They, I guess, went all out here to try and make this simulate a pro game as much as possible. So Ernie Hayes here playing music on the organ. Officials for tonight's game, Rick Eschelbach and Tom Draper are the linesmen. Bob Cunningham standing out at center ice, ready to drop the opening faceoff. Rick Mahar will be joining us in the booth. I believe he's probably making his way up here as I speak. He had some pregame duties that he had to take care of. He's like one of the, I suppose he's the honorary chairperson of this event. So he had to present the Mid-States Scholarship, which I believe went to Trevor Henry. And I apologize if it did go to Tyler and not Trevor. Tyler is and Trevor both play for the Parkway Central Colts. Tyler on the forward lines, Trevor back in the on the defensive core, and I will have to check that sometime during this broadcast to make sure. Rick ought to know since he gave out the slip, I would think. And he'll be up here in just a minute. In goal tonight for the Kirkwood Pioneers, Kit Barella. For the Parkway Central Colts, Scott Bockel. An interesting situation. We have the same two guys in goal this year as we had last year. Bockel at the time was playing for DeSmet. He has moved to Parkway Central and rejoins the Central Colts in the finals, joins the Kirkwood Pioneers. So it's Bockel and Kit Barella joining me now in the broadcast booth. Rick Mahar.
How you doing?
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you here. Yeah, I realize. It's time for the first period of action. They play 14 minutes in high school action. The Pioneers and the Colts. Here is the Colts' Horwick with the puck. To center, dumps it into the zone. Goes deep into the boards, Horwick after it. He's knocked off the puck there by Sean Gerhardt of the Colts, and it comes off to the right wing for Holtzlag. Tries to make a left wing pass for Kaufman, or Cranston, I should say. But it gets by him and goes all the way down the ice, and icing is called against the Colts. Here in Mid-States, unlike the NHL, all it's got to do is cross that red line and they blow it dead.
Which is good. I think it's good. Maybe it might save a few injuries. I think if a couple kids went after the puck pretty hard, they might get hurt. But it's a good play. That pass you just saw there, I think it was a little high, and maybe you might need a baseball glove or something to catch it. But
That's another difference here in Mid-States hockey. They don't have a red line for two-line passing. You can make a pass from your own zone all the way across the red line, so there's no problem with that. Face-off just to the right of Scotty Bockel for Central. Todd Kaufman with the puck for the Colts. He'll dump it toward the zone. It's taken there and knocked into the zone by the Colts. Going for it is Andy Sandler on right wing, but he loses it. Now the puck is loose, picked up by Lyons for the Colts. Centers one, and it never got through, went through the crease, but nobody there. Now Pioneers are able to clear it to center, and Sinnott sends it back in the zone for Central. Here's Mark Thawley for the Pioneers with the puck. Works to center and passes on right wing to Herwick. He tries to shoot it in, but it goes off a Colt player and into the bench. There'll be a stoppage in play and a face-off just in front of the Parkway Central bench.
You're talking about no red line. I remember when I played college, we had no red line in college, and it was a great game. It opened things up a bit, and if you could skate, you could have a lot of fun playing the game.
I've read before certain sports writers have suggested that for the NHL to make it a more finesse game and less of a grinding game.
Yeah, it could be. The scores might be 10-9 too, though. I don't know.
That might be exciting for the fans. Puck is dumped into the central zone. Back for it. Trevor Henry couldn't get to it. It's centered, but nobody there for the Pioneers. And now trying to take it to center, couldn't get it out. Where the Colts, puck is shot to center ice. Now I think this is Hoslag with it for Central. Works in. The play is onside. A weak shot on goal. Barella turns aside. Hoslag after it in the corner, but he's knocked off the puck, and now the Pioneers will shoot it back to center ice. Back there is Trevor Henry for the Colts. He'll shoot it into the zone, picked up by Ian Campbell. Tries to pass up on right wing. The Pioneers work it into the zone. This is Matt Neiman with it, who wasn't expected to play tonight. Matt Neiman is suited up for tonight's game. He had received a match penalty in the previous game against Parkway South in the semifinals. They didn't expect him here, but he is apparently suited out tonight. Puck is loose at center ice now, picked up by Holtzlag for Central, has it in his own zone at the top of the circle. Trying to work the center, passes up the middle, goes too far for Lions, and all the way down the ice, and we get a stoppage in play. 11:41 to go, first period. Let's take our first break. You're listening to the St. Louis Blues Challenge Cup on the Show Me Radio Network. And back at the St. Louis Arena, Joel Becker alongside of Rick Mahar. He had a plaque to hand out here before the game.
Yeah, we do that every year with the alumni, and it was pretty deserving of Tyler to win the award.
Was Tyler Henry. I thought I was going to screw that up. I think I said it was Trevor.
Yeah, from what I've heard about him, I haven't seen him play this year yet, but he's a pretty good athlete, pretty good student, and well deserving of the award.
Tyler Henry playing on the top line for the Central Colts with Ken Holtzlag and Brad Cranston. Right now out there for Central is their second line with Lee Kleiner, Todd Kaufman, and I believe Greg Lyons. It's about 11.5 minutes to go here in the first period. No scores so far. Taken down in front is Herwick for the Pioneers. Puck is loose, sent out in front. Nobody could get to it, though, for the Pioneers, and Kleiner sends it out of the zone. Dumped right back in by Kirkwood. Racing after for it is Goglin, but he couldn't get to it. And now Lee Kleiner falls down with it. Herwick picks it up for the Pioneers, centers it, but it's cleared away, not out, held in by Campbell. A shot, and it gets by Bockel, but wide of the goal. Rebound shot, and Bockel saves that.
He shoots the puck pretty well.
Shot by Eric Quint there.
Shoots the puck real well.
And Bockel will hang on. There'll be a face-off inside the zone and a little bit of pushing and shoving. I guess hockey is hockey here. It doesn't matter if you're in high school. I don't know if you played in high school, Rick.
High school in Canada was not real big. Some parts of Ontario, where I'm from, had high school hockey, but our high school didn't. And we played the minor system all the way up, Bantam, midget, juvenile, and went on to college. But we never played with the mask either when I was younger. And I don't know what effect that has on hockey, but it seems like everybody leads with their face or their head now. And I don't know if it's good or bad, but it saves a lot of teeth, I would think.
Face-off in front was cleared out and shot back in by Ryan Girl for Kirkwood. Back behind his own net is Trevor Henry. He'll send it to center ice. Racing after for it there is Mortillo, but he couldn't get to it. Now here's Kahaney in for Kirkwood, a shot. Bockel makes the save, and he'll hang on to it as Ryan Girl coming in.
I think they got away with an offside there. I think it was two pretty evenly matched teams here by the looks of it so far. A little tentative maybe, but look like they're pretty well evenly matched up.
Well, this is something new for Parkway Central. They did appear in the Mid-States Finals before, about 5 years ago. But, in fact, they were there last year for the third place game. But it's not exactly the same.
Yeah.
As playing in the finals, they're kind of feeling themselves out. Face off to the right of Bockel, won by Holtzlag of the Colts. And Trevor Henry puts it up on right wing. Kahaney intercepted it there, couldn't do anything with it. Now it comes to Tyler Henry. Tyler Henry will dump it into the Pioneer zone. After it is Holtzlag, a shot. I think he really was centering it there, but Tyler Henry couldn't quite get to it. And now Ryan Girl in his own zone takes it for the Pioneers. Back behind his own goal. He'll shoot it up on right wing. It's held into the point. And a shot by Turner is knocked off a leg and into the corner. Picking it up is Adam Cross. Tries to work in to Girl at center. Works in over the line. Girl a shot. Went off a leg. Rebound to Kahaney, and he puts one, and it goes over the net off the glass behind the goal. Now Central will try and break it out of their own zone. Holtzlag up to Trevor Henry. Tries to cross ice pass to Cranston, but it was intercepted. Then it was knocked off of Bob Cunningham, the referee. Girl works into the zone for Kirkwood, and then Kirkwood player fans on a shot. And the puck is cleared the length of the ice. No icing on this play. Back behind his own net is Thawley, I believe. He clears it up to the point, held in there by Gerhardt. Back behind the goal. Kaufman centers one, and Lyons fanned on the shot. Goes into the corner. Now Herwick picks it up for the Pioneers. Behind the back pass to Campbell. A nifty pass there. They clear it, not out. Held in by Sinnott at the point. Now Lyons will shoot it behind the net. Going after for it is Holtzlag for Central. Goes into the corner, picked up by Mortillo. She tries to work in front, can't. And now here's Herwick for the Pioneers. He couldn't work into the zone, and then the play goes in offsides. So we have a stoppage of play with 8:42 to go. No score in the first period. You're listening to the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup on the Show Me Radio Network. Back live at the St. Louis Arena, I should say. 8:42 to go, first period. No score so far. Both teams kind of feeling each other out. Herwick and Kleiner, I think, or Mortillo, I should say, on the draw, just outside the central zone. And Herwick won the draw, and they dump it in. Behind his own goal goes Sinnott. He'll work it up on right wing for Lyons. Tries to work to center, does to Mortillo. And he'll dump it in. Goes behind the goal. Barella couldn't stop it, but Thawley picks it up for Kirkwood. Tries to push it up on right wing, but it's intercepted by Mortillo. Tries to center one, but they couldn't get to it. Mortillo puts it back in front. A shot by Lyons is wide, and it goes all around the boards, and it's picked up by Jackson and flipped all the way down the ice. Icing coming up here on Kirkwood. That's pretty much our first good scoring opportunity of the game, I think.
There's been a couple. The one the kid shot from the blue line for Kirkwood had a good chance of going in, but that's probably the first real good chance they've had to score on this Kirkwood goaltender.
Kit Barella playing in his second finals in a row for Kirkwood. Scott Bockel for DeSmet. This is his fourth finals in a row.
I'll tell you what I like about these teams, though, they play the man very well.
You find that a lot in St. Louis anyway in high school hockey is it's a very physical game, especially at the upper levels.
Well, there's some big kids out there.
There's a pass to center for Girl for Kirkwood. He tries to work into the zone, gets around Henry into the corner with it. Henry lays into him pretty hard, but Girls had the puck, tried to center one, but Bockel tipped it away. Now Cross tries to put it into the corner. It's shot out in front, and Kleiner tries to center it, went off a skate and stayed in the zone, and now Kleiner will put it to center ice for the Colts. Puck is loose there, and Cross picks it up for the Pioneers, and he'll just flip it into the zone. After for it is Neiman. He's run off the puck by Trevor Henry, and now it's sent in, not out. Kahaney with the puck. A shot goes wide to the right of Bockel, and I think they've lost where the puck went. And I have to admit, so did I. It must have gone over the glass.
Yeah, as soon as it hits that ledge, you can almost go anywhere.
Yeah, the shot was wide by about 3 feet to the right of Kirkwood, Parkway Central goalie. Scotty Bockel went off the boards and up over the ice. The faceoff will be outside the zone. Under 7.5 minutes to go in this 14-minute period. No score. Holtzlag couldn't get the draw from Herwick, and Thawley will give it to Hisrick. He tries to work into the zone. Puck taken off of him by Holtzlag. Tries to work in. Holtzlag with the puck. A shot, and Barella the save, and then Holtzlag goes hard into the goal. Looks like he's okay. Knocks it off the posts.
Looked like the net got the worst of that part.
And there'll be a face-off.
Pretty good player. Good skater.
Holtzlag, the top center really for Parkway Central right now. A pretty good save by Barella to take the puck out of midair. Holtzlag really couldn't get a shot off as he was being checked on the play by Ian Campbell. And everybody seems like they're okay, and again, they're going to move the face-off outside the zone.
Well, the smartest things they ever did was make those nets magnetic, and they've changed since, but when those things used to be 6-inch pipes with the nets fit on, they didn't move very much when you hit them.
They still have those posts at some of the area ice rinks that they use for this thing, and not everybody can have the...
Yeah, I don't think the goaltenders like them as much, only because the guys go to the net much more than they would if they'd known the net are a little more solid. They got that big steel pipe in there. They're not going to be as aggressive going to the net. But with that magnetic net in there, now they know they can go to the net, and the net's going to come off and save a lot of injuries.
And padding has certainly changed over the years here. I don't know if like 6-7 years ago he'd been able to just get up and continue on his next shift after a hit like that. Off the draw, the puck into the Kirkwood zone. Trying to work out is Quint, and he does, over to Cross, and he'll dump it in. A shot goes on goal. Bockel steers it aside. The rebound goes to Holtzlag. He tries to get it up for Tyler Henry. Instead, he catches up to his own puck. Holtzlag works into the zone over to Henry on right wing. Centers one, and again, the goal comes loose as they centered one, and Holtzlag was getting ridden off the play and got ridden right into the net. And there'll be a face-off. 6:36 to go, first period action from the St. Louis Arena. Parkway Central Colts and the Kirkwood Pioneers know the score in the finals of the Mid-States Club Hockey Association playoffs. Joel Becker with Rick Mahar on KASP. St. Louis. Face off to the right of Kit Barella, Girl, and Mortillo. Mortillo got the draw back to the point, a weak shot by Sinnott, and was steered aside, and now Girl works the center. One man back for Parkway Central. Ryan Girl a shot, and it's kicked aside by Bockel. Into the corner for it is Neiman. He'll shoot it around the boards, but Kahaney tries to center one, but it's intercepted there by Lyons of the Colts. He'll go across the red line and dump it in. It goes behind the goal. Barella stops it there and leaves it for Hisrick. Up on left wing for Kahaney to Girl. Now Hisrick comes back and gets it, and he's able to dump it into the Parkway Central zone. Bockel out of the net, clears it up on the boards for Kaufman for Parkway Central. Puck is loose in front and picked up by Kaufman. Works the center, in across the line, Kaufman. Tries to make a move around Campbell, but falls down, and now the puck is cleared out of the zone and dumped right back in by Brad Turner. Here's Mark Thawley for the Pioneers, works the center, in across the red line. He left it there, and it's picked up by Tyler Henry for the Colts. Tyler Henry works into the zone, cutting in, centers one, couldn't get to anybody though. Puck is loose in front, cleared out, held into the point, a shot, and that goes off of Herwick and rebounds back into the Colts zone.
Tyler Henry, good little player, good skater.
Got a lot of good skaters on both of these teams. Tyler Henry with the puck and across the line, tries to move in around Cross but couldn't. Went off across his skate, loose in the corner and sent around the boards. Now Jackson with it for the Kirkwood Pioneers. He's run hard into the boards by Cranston, but it's picked up by Ian Campbell. Campbell works into the zone, takes a shot, but it's offsides. And with 4:46 to go, still no score. There's a stop in the action. You're listening to the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup on the Show Me Radio Network. From the St. Louis Arena with 4:46 to go, first period, no score in the finals of the Mid-States Club Hockey Association playoffs. The Pioneers and the Colts. Off the draw, the puck is dumped into the central zone. With it there is Trevor Henry. He'll work to center. Trevor Henry for the Colts across the red line will dump it into the zone. It goes around the boards. Barella missed it. Held in at the point by Central. Trying to work it over to Vining, but he couldn't get to it, and the puck is cleared out of the zone. Now Trevor Henry dumps it back in. Barella will leave it behind the goal for Campbell. He'll shoot up on right wing for Neiman. Taken away from Girl, though. Central had the puck for a second, but it was knocked away, and now Sean Gerhardt will send it into the zone. Running after for it, Lee Kleiner misses it, and it's picked up by Campbell for Kirkwood. Tries to go with a long pass for Neiman, but is intercepted by Jeff Sinnott, defenseman for the Colts. Now Kleiner dumps it into the zone, and he gets bumped hard. Gets knocked down on the play. Kirkwood dumps it, and it goes the length of the ice. As it crosses the red line, icing called against Kirkwood. 3:45 to go. Still no score.
I think a lot of times some of these kids will look more towards hitting somebody than they will for the puck sometimes. They'll just let the puck go and try and make a hit.
Well, as you know, when you're playing a high contact game, one of the ways to try and get around that is by making longer passes, spreading your team out a little bit more. It's harder to take the body when you're all spread out and you've got more to pass to, but then you have the problem that you might get intercepted. Face off in front. Hisrick with it for the Colts, kept it in. A shot by Lyons right in front, and Kaufman couldn't knock it in, and he's knocked down on top of the puck by Thawley.
Are they playing the same rules in the crease? Have a player standing in the crease?
Not exactly the same. If a player is in the crease, in Mid-States, I believe a goal would not count if a player was in the crease when the goal was scored, unless he follows it into the crease. But you don't get that 2-minute penalty that goes with the goaltender's interference that you do in the NHL. Something else they do differently is, or at least they're supposed to, is if a player is waiting for a puck to come into the crease, they are supposed to just blow the whistle and stop play there and move the faceoff outside the zone.
Okay.
I believe that's the way it works in Mid-States. 3.5 minutes to go, first period. Puck is loose, a centering attempt by Lyons, and nothing could happen with it, and now Thawley will have it for Kirkwood. Tries to work across the line, loses the puck though, but Sinnott out over there for it. He couldn't get to it. And now here is Herwick, I believe, for the Colts. This is Herwick, and across the line. Herwick, and a shot on the play there by Quint. And now a penalty is going to be
I think
called.
it's called a high stick. Hit the puck with a stick over his shoulders. I think that's what they're blowing the whistle.
There we go. There you go. I saw them wave at it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another difference in rules between high school and...
it goes all the way down the ice.
Yeah, when you hit a puck down with a high stick, the ensuing face-off is all the way down at the other end of the ice. 2:56 to go here in the first period. Face-off deep in the Kirkwood zone to the right of Kirkwood goalie Kit Barella.
Boy, I wish I had this much energy the last 4 or 5 years of my career.
Yeah, and they
played another 10.
And you notice they really use a basic two-line system here. Off the draw, Holtzley gets it back at the point, a shot, and it goes wide. Another point now for Trevor Henry, taken off of his stick and sent back to center by Girl. Shot back in, and Girl has it for Kirkwood. Tries to shoot it in. Henry stopped it. Now the puck is shot into the Kirkwood zone and taken there by Ken Holtzlag. He'll try and work it in. Sends it all the way down the ice. Icing is waved off. Over for it is Henry. Tyler Henry with the puck behind the goal. Tries to work out in front or circle behind, taking off the puck. And the Colts clear it. And it's shot back in offsides. 2:20 to go here in the first quarter. No score. You're listening to the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup on the Show Me Radio Network. 2:20 to go, first period. No score in this game so far. The Central Colts from Parkway and the Kirkwood Pioneers off the draw. Puck is loose at center ice. Trevor Henry tried to fire it into the zone. It hit his own player. And now Kirkwood has the puck. It was shot back to center, and Trevor Henry in his own zone for Parkway Central. He'll send it up. He was looking for Mortello on the play, but it went off of the linesman. And now it's shot in to the zone by Kirkwood behind his own goal. Trevor Henry loses one, a shot. Bacco there, rebound, they score! Ryan Jackson for Kirkwood, and it's 1-0.
That's putting it upstairs. Nice shot.
Bill Eckert had the puck. That play was really set up when the clearing pass hit the linesman. It rebounded right in the middle of play, and Eckert carried it into the zone on left wing, took a shot. Bacco made the initial save, and then Ryan Jackson followed with Bacco down and put it and roofed it, really.
Yeah, put it upstairs, the only place he could put it. They made a nice save on the first guy.
And Kirkwood
to go at 12:07.
Kirkwood strikes first. Jackson, they say unassisted. I believe they probably should have given an assist there to Billy Eckert, who took the original shot.
Yeah, he deserved one.
But they didn't. Back to action, Ryan Girl trying to work into the zone. Still haven't had any penalties in this game as Girl was taken down on the play and the puck shot back to center ice. Now Hisrick will shoot it back in, and he shot it in from behind the center line, and icing called. 1:28 to go in the first period. Kirkwood strikes first, 1-0. Parkway Central got here by beating CBC in a 2-game series. They lost the first game to CBC 4-2. They also got down in the second game, came back to win 4-1. Then they played a 10-minute minigame to determine a winner off the 2-game series. Again, CBC struck first. Central came back and tied it and then won in 2 overtimes for the minigame by the score of 1-0. And you think it takes a lot of energy to do this, Rick. After you're done with a full game plus a 10-minute minigame and 2 overtime periods, I would think that I would be
think
dead.
the boys would have any problem sleeping that night. I remember Bruce Affleck the other day told me that the longest game he ever played was 3 regular periods and 3 overtime periods and never came off the ice once.
Oh my goodness, I can't imagine that. I played 6 hours the other night in pickup, but see, I got to loaf it when I wanted to. They can't do that out here. Just over a minute to go in the period. Central couldn't hold it in at the point. Kirkwood sends it the length of the ice. Icing was waved off, and Bacco will clear it up on the left side there for Cranston. Brad Cranston with the puck. He'll work to center and tried to get in over line, lost it though. Now Holtzlag follows in. Works it into the corner. Ken Holtzlag trying to center one. He's taken out of the play, ripped down. There's going to be a penalty. 48 seconds to go in the period, and I believe Adam Cross for Kirkwood is going to pick up the first penalty of this game, probably a holding call as he ripped down Ken Holtzlag in the corner.
I think the hit was fine, and just after the hit, he threw him down to the ice, and I think that's what he's calling.
Yeah, the hit was pretty good, but he kind of got his arm up on him and then took him down.
Number 16, Adam Cross, 2 minutes for holding. Time of the penalty, 13-12.
So it was, in fact, a holding call. Now with 48 seconds to go in the period, Central will go on the power play. They have an effective power play, or at least they have here in the playoffs. That's how they scored, I think, 3 of the goals in that second game and overtime game. Off the draw, the puck is cleared into the Central zone. Herwick almost had a break, but he couldn't get to the puck. And now with 35 seconds to go, Holtzlag over to Gerhardt in his own zone. The Colts on the power play for the remainder of the period. Gerhardt shoots it into the zone, but Thawley dumps it the length of the ice. Bacco out of the goal, plays it. He'll work it up on left wing there for Tyler Henry for the Colts. He'll try and work in 3-on-2 with Cranston and Holtzlag. Drop pass for Holtzlag back in front. And
nice play.
Tyler Henry could not get a shot off. Puck loose in the corner now. Holtzlag going all over for it. 3 seconds left. And Holtzlag goes hard into Campbell as the period ends.
Well, you know they're hitting hard when I can hear them through these headphones.
all the way up here on the 4th level, and we're able to hear it without even having to worry about the crowd, Mike. Well, we've played one period of action. Kirkwood strikes first. They lead it 1-0. You're listening to the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup on the Show Me Radio Network. Back at the St. Louis Arena, Joel Becker, Rick Mahar, the Parkway Central Colts, and the Kirkwood Pioneers, and Kirkwood on top 1-0 after one period of play. Pretty good period for both teams. They're back to action real quick here. In the Kirkwood zone, Sinnott with the puck for Central. Jeff Sinnott in the corner. Central starts the period on the power play. Tries to center one, couldn't get it through. Rebound, he got his own rebound, got a shot off. Barella makes the save, but couldn't hang on to it. It's loose in the corner. There's 50 seconds to go in the penalty to Kirkwood. Tyler Henry leaves it in the corner there. Now he gets it back out on the point for Holtzlag, but it was tipped off his stick into the zone for Herwick now for Kirkwood. He's ridden off the play though by Gerhardt. Gets it back. Good penalty killing so far for Kirkwood. And Sinnott takes down Herwick as he dumps it into the corner. Under 30 seconds to go now in the penalty. To center ice, and Holtzlag with it. He's knocked down as he got it in across the line, and Kirkwood sends it the length of the ice. Shots on goal in the first period favored Kirkwood 9-3. And now with 10 seconds left in the penalty, the puck goes into the zone. Tyler Henry centers one. Nobody there for Kirkwood, and now the net's got knocked loose. And they finally stop play. I'm not sure anybody's told the players yet.
No, I don't think so.
And in fact, we're going to get a penalty called now on Ken Holtzlag. That's an interesting situation because Holtzlag's going to go off for hooking here. Just underway in the second period, 12:45 to go. It's Kirkwood 1, Parkway Central nothing.
I keep losing you here. I keep losing you.
On the,
yeah.
We'll try and get that fixed if we get a chance. Somebody's got to tell Greg Lyons that he's going the other way now. He's ready to take the face off the other direction. And now Kirkwood is going to be on the power play. Back at the point, a shot by Campbell. It's never got through. And Kaufman picks it up for Central, and he'll just dump it to center. Back into the zone goes Kirkwood. And he goes back out again, and now Lyons with the puck will dump it the length of the ice. Ryan Gurl back for it. In his own zone, works to center. Kirkwood on the power play for another minute and a half. Dumps it into the zone. Over forward is Craig Herwick for Central. Can't get in around Turner. Goes around the net. Now the puck's back out of the point for Campbell. Near side, a shot. And Bockel a save on a nice shot by Thawley.
Nice save. They set that up pretty nice. They look like Brett Hull out there a little bit, but they moved the puck around real well.
It's interesting. They've got 3 defensemen out here on the power play. That very well may be because in high school a lot of times defensemen have the biggest shots on the team.
Yeah, that's true. They're shooting the puck pretty well, but they did set it up. They got a couple guys out of position.
So a minute 20 to go in the hooking penalty to Ken Holtzlag. Face-off deep inside the Central zone to the right of Parkway Central goalie Scotty Bockel. Herwick on the draw, loses it to Tyler Henry, and Central shoots it the length of the ice. Under 12 minutes to go, second period. Kirkwood on the power play. Cross with the puck. Works behind his own goal. Up on left wing for Campbell. Gets it out of the zone, and now Herwick with it. Couldn't get it in across the line, taken off of his stick. Now Herwick gets it back, works in across the line. Craig Herwick leaves it for Girl. Back to Herwick. It is behind him. Puck is loose. Herwick picks it up again, and a shot goes wide. Held into the point, though. Left point is Campbell. Over on the right point for Cross, but it went outside the blue line on a poor pass by Thawley. And they have to go back. Here's Ryan Girl for Kirkwood. In across the line, a shot. And it goes by Bockel, but wide of the goal. Trevor Henry there for Parkway Central takes the puck and shoots at the length of the ice. Under 30 seconds to go in the Kirkwood Pioneer power play. Behind his own goal is Ian Campbell up on right wing for Cross. Tries to work it to center to Girl, but Cross gets it back in front of the Central bench. Now works into center. They get it into the zone, but Central shoots it the length of the ice. Brad Turner there for Parkway Central.
Doing a pretty good job killing this penalty.
Both teams did, and the penalty time does expire to Holtzlag. He's out of the box, and they've killed it off. Pass to center for Neiman. Works in across the line. Neiman to Girl on right wing. Girl tries to work it in front. A shot. Rebound. The puck is loose. They score. That was knocked in front. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Kahaney got the goal.
Yeah, it was really hard to tell who it went off of, but
the original shot by Girl was saved by Bockel. It was loose in front, and I think it went off of somebody's body. It looks like it was Herwick's body that it went off of.
good play. They all went to the net, created something.
And it's 2-0 Kirkwood. Waiting to get word on who got the goal. Girl made that play pretty well. Worked in on right wing, cut into the zone, took the shot. Bockel made the save, and the rebound bounced around in front and finally went in the net.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who did get that goal.
Well, they'll probably announce it next time we got a stoppage in play. Looks like Herwick picked it up from Mark Thawley and Ryan Girl at 1:29 of the second period, and it's 2-0 Kirkwood. Back to action, Sean Gerhardt with the puck in his own zone. He tries to clear it, not out, but it's picked up by Sinnott for Parkway Central, and he'll shoot it into the zone. Some players onto the ice for the first time for Kirkwood. Now in front of the goal is Lyons, couldn't get a shot off, out to the point, held in though. Sent into the corner where Thawley picks it up for Kirkwood behind his own goal. He'll give it over for Hisrick. Works to center, out, gets out of the zone. Gerhardt couldn't hold it in. Now Kaufman back in for Central, tries to work in front. Hisrick takes a loose puck though and works back to center. Off the boards, a nice pass for for Neiman, but he overskated it. Now it's shot back in, offsides. 9:33 to go in the second period. 2-1 our score. Kirkwood on top. You're listening to the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup on the Show Me Radio Network. Happy to be on KASP St. Louis. Joel Becker and Rick Mahar from the arena where the Mid-States Finals, the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup. It's Kirkwood 2, Central nothing. Off the draw, shot in front. And Holtzlag has it out of the corner, puts it out of the point. Turner a drive. And that just went wide. Held in at the right point. Henry, he shot it wide. Goes back out. Turner with it. He'll shoot it into the corner. Varela has lost his stick, and now the Kirkwood goal has gotten knocked off. I believe a pretty smart play by one of the Kirkwood defensemen pushed one of the Central players into the goal to get that stoppage in play.
Absolutely. You got a goalie with a forward stick, and a great play, smart play. I think I like this Kirkwood goalie a lot. He stands up, he plays the shots well, gets rid of the rebounds. He's a good player.
Kit Barella for Kirkwood. Scott Bockel in nets for Parkway Central. We saw a couple of new players out there for Kirkwood getting their first shifts of the game. Dale Sunbakken. I was talking to Dale Sr. The other day at Queenie during the semifinals. Wanted to know if Dale was going to continue cutting your grass, Rick.
Oh, yeah.
So
whenever he wants to. He does a pretty good job.
Off the draw, held into the point. Turner a shot. And it went off a stick and wide. Now Thawley with it in his own zone for Kirkwood, loses it. Holtzlag and Henry there for the Colts. Puck is loose. Holtzlag tries to center one, but it goes off a stick and behind the goal. Kirkwood picks it up. Gurl with it. He was the one who knocked it away. Over to Neiman. Puck is loose. Into the zone now. Holtzlag with it for Central. Over on cross-wing pass for Trevor Henry. And across the line, drops to his brother Tyler. Centers one for Cranston, but he could never get a shot off. Rebound. Cranston gets the puck a shot, and Varela stood him up and stoned him. And the puck is cleared the length of the ice. Out of the goal, Backel. Up on right wing, the puck is shot into the Kirkwood zone. Hisrick there. Oh, and a big hit on the play there. And now Holtzlag and Hisrick want to get into it. Puck is in the zone, and play has been called.
That's some hitting out there, I'll tell you.
I think both players are probably going to go off for roughing, would be my guess. Hisrick for Kirkwood and Holtzlag for Parkway Central.
I tell you, both defense. They stand people up, they hit them hard. You go in the zone, you know you're going somewhere. They hit you every time you move.
I think we're going to get coincidental high sticking minors. And so they'll both get a little bit of a rest.
You got to love some of these smaller players.
8:14 to go, second period. Kirkwood on top. It's a high-sticking minor to Hisrick. A roughing call for Holtzlag. Coincidental penalties. And it's still 2-0. Off the draw, Gerhardt had held it in, and a shot never got through. And now Kirkwood shoots it. A lead pass here for Herwick in alone, and a shot went wide. It's hard to miss from 3 feet away, but Herwick found a way. Now in the corner, they put it in front. Jackson with it, a shot, and he put it wide. Gerhardt takes it for Central. He'll put it around the boards, held in left point by Cross. He'll put it into the corner. Gerhardt picks it up for the Colts. Gerhardt will try and clear it, not out. Held in at the point, into Herwick, and he's taken off of the play. Puck is loose in the corner, and it's picked up by Central. They shoot it into center. Vining with it. He gets it in the zone, but knocked off the play, and Kirkwood will pick it back up. They try and shoot it out. They do. Central sent it back in, but they were offsides, and they had to wait. Kirkwood got it and shot at the length of the ice. No icing on this play. Backel leaves it for Sinnott. He'll try a long pass. He was looking for Sandler on the play, but he couldn't get to it. Puck dumped back in the zone. Gurl and Gerhardt fight for it. Neither of them get to the puck before. It's Lyons for Parkway Central. He shoots it. It goes over a stick into the zone, and now it's picked up by Kirkwood at center ice. They work it into the zone. Ryan Gurl with it in alone. A shot and a big save by Scotty Backel on the shot by Ryan Gurl, and he hangs on.
Great save. Nice play.
That's twice now. Kirkwood is cut in alone on Backel. Once they shot it wide, and now Gurl trying to go high glove side, but Backel up to the task. 6:38 to go, second period. You're listening to the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup on the Show Me Radio Network. Scott Backel for Parkway Central in his 4th finals appearance. And a great save on that last play as Gurl cut in alone on him. Herwick wins the draw back to Thawley off the face-off, but he shot it wide. And now Central will shoot it to center ice. Ian Campbell tries to dump it in, but it went off a leg, and now here's Cranston for Central being hooked on the play. Gets it into the zone. It goes into the corner. Thawley there for it for Kirkwood. Shoots it around the boards, held in by Turner. He tries a shot, but it was knocked down by Herwick. Herwick with the puck, works in across the line. He can't get around Henry, and he's knocked off the puck by Turner, and then he was run into by his own player. The puck went loose into the corner, and or out toward center, I should say, and Thawley shot it back in. Now at the point, Campbell a drive, and it goes off a stick and high off the glass. Now Tyler Henry will just poke it to center ice. Parkway Central needs to get back in this game in a hurry. They're down 2-0 and have shown relatively little offense. Puck cleared and tipped the length of the ice from behind the center red line. Icing called against Kirkwood. 5:42 to go, second period. You're listening to the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup on the Show Me Radio Network. St. Louis Arena, Kirkwood 2, Parkway Central nothing in the finals of the St. Louis Blues Challenge Cup. Face off in the Kirkwood zone. Kirkwood got it, but they couldn't get it out. Kaufman with the drive went wide of the goal. Puck is loose in the corner, picked up by Kirkwood. They try and shoot it out. Kaufman held it in, but it ended up getting cleared out to center. Now Girl with it. He'll dump it into the corner and send it over there for Parkway Central. He has it knocked off his stick, but Kaufman takes it for Central. Sends it into the corner. Girl with it for Kirkwood. Couldn't do anything with it. Shot held in at the point held in at the line, I should say, by Thawley, but then it's tipped off of his stick by Sandler. He tries to work in, and now the puck is shot over the glass and out of play by Cross of the Pioneers. There'll be a face-off deep inside the zone.
I think Kirkwood are giving Central some problems in the center ice zone because they're using their speed. They're using the boards, and the guys are breaking in behind the defense. And I think that's what you have to do in this game of hockey. You have to use your speed through that center ice zone. You're going to get some breakaways, and that's what Kirkwood has done.
Well, you know, Parkway Central had the best record in the league this year coming into this game, but Kirkwood has been on a tear. They've won all their games so far in the playoffs. You don't have to win every game to continue to advance, as Central has not won every game. Kirkwood has a 6-game winning streak, though. Off the draw, the puck cleared the length of the ice, goes over the end line, and icing called. And now we're going to get penalties, as after icing was called, I believe Sean Gerhardt took Craig Herwick into the boards, and he's going to go off.
It's hard to say. You got to play the whistle, but you know it's a hard thing to do to stop yourself. You know, especially as much hitting is going on in this game as tonight.
2 minutes for boarding. Time of the penalty, 9:06. Gerhardt, Parkway Central, 2 minutes boarding at 9:06.
And Kirkwood will get its second power play. They were relatively ineffective on the first one. So was Parkway Central when it had a power play. And Scott Bockel with the puck shoots it to center ice up for Holtzlag. For Parkway Central has the puck at the red line on left wing. Holtzlag now winds up and he'll just shoot it into the zone. Back forward is Campbell. Back on the back lines with Cross. Ryan Girl, Herwick, and Thawley up front for Kirkwood. Thawley with the puck, tries to work into the corner. Normally a defenseman playing up on the power play. He'll put it out in the middle. It was intended for Cross, but he couldn't get to it. It goes back out to center ice. Minute 10 to go in the penalty. Girl works in to Herwick, puts it in front for Thawley, and he couldn't get a shot off as Bockel came out of the net. Now the whistle's been blown as the net got knocked off on that whole thing. Scott Bockel being very adventuresome there out in front of his own net, as he was able to come up and poke the puck away from Thawley, who never really could get a good shot off.
Yeah, that Kirkwood team's got 5 pretty good players on the ice right now. They can all skate, they can handle the puck pretty well, and they're pretty smart players. And they got one of their defensemen playing up the front, and with a long reach, he's got the long stick, and they got a good power play. They're playing very well.
Just under a minute to go in Gerhardt's boarding penalty. Off the draw, Girl gets it back to Cross at the right point. He works in a shot, and he put it wide. Now a penalty coming up against Parkway Central. Barella will try and head to the bench, and it's knocked away from him. And finally they get the puck, and play is stopped. But a penalty coming up, the crowd reacting to a shot into the empty net, but as you know, we're going to get a hooking call, and on the delayed penalty, you can't score into that empty net.
Absolutely, yeah.
Otherwise, I don't think the goalie'd be going off too often. So, with 3:35 to go, second period, for the next 41 seconds, the Kirkwood Pioneers are going to have a 5-on-3 advantage. When we come back, it'll be 5-on-3 for 41 seconds. You're listening to the St. Louis Blues Challenge Cup. So for the next 41 seconds, with Kirkwood on top, 2-0, they will have a 5-on-3 advantage. Cranston going off for hooking. Puck sent into the zone. Sent it there for Central. Will try and clear it out, but he can't. was held in by Herwick at the point. Girl will put it over on the other point for Campbell. Left side a shot. And Backel a save. Puck is loose in front. Holtzlag gets it, clears it, not out. Knocked down by Campbell at the point, but he shoots it in front, and it was tipped to center by Sinnott. He tries to get in for it, and he's knocked down on the play. There'll be another penalty now on Ryan Girl of Kirkwood. He's going to get an interference call, so we went through a whole mess of time there with nothing called, and all of a sudden now we're going to have 3 guys in the box.
Well, I think they had to do it. They don't take that guy down. He has a good chance of scoring a goal, but earlier when Kirkwood was on the 5-on-3, they had one of their defensemen shooting the puck from the blue line, and there's nobody in front of the net, and you got a 5-on-3 situation. The forward should come back and say something to the guy, or get, you can't shoot the puck from the point on a 5-on-3. It doesn't work. It's too easy for the other team.
And Backel got a real good look at it, obviously, all the way in, and no real rebound to speak of. Adam Cross picking up the penalty at 10:54, an interference call, and for the next 6 seconds, the teams will be 4-on-3, and then it'll be 4-on-4, and then Central will get a very, very brief power play. Out of the box is Gerhardt, and the teams are now even 4-on-4. Puck is loose in the zone. Here's Girl with a shot, and he put it off the post, wide of the goal. Foley over to Campbell on the right point. Campbell in down low. He was looking for Herwick, but he missed the pass, and now Turner will just shoot it back to center for Kirkwood. Now Campbell back in the zone for Kirkwood. I should say that was Central shooting it out. Sinnott with the puck for Parkway Central. Works in front of his own zone. Tries to get it out of the zone. Can't get it by Campbell, but now Holtzlag with it. Holtzlag into the zone. Holtzlag trying to work in around Thawley. Does it, a shot, and Barella got a pad down and makes the save. Now Sinnott into the corner for Central. Centers one, and Campbell intercepts it. Holtzlag with it, a shot, and another save by Barella. Rebound in front. Sinnott a drive. He scores! Jeff Sinnott makes it 2-1.
I think you're going to have another penalty here against Kirkwood, too.
Jeff Sinnott pitching in on a 4-on-4 situation. Some of Parkway Central's best.
Yeah, they look good in that shift. I think that's what they have to do. They have to move the puck a little quicker than they have been this game so far. And when they did that, they got some scoring chances.
Well, they kind of had maybe a certain advantage from the fact that it was 4-on-4.
Mm-hmm.
They got some of their players out there that were going to skate around, move the puck around well. And finally, after about 3 good saves by Kid Barella, Jeff Sinnott is able to solve them.
Yeah,
and it's 2-1.
All the Central fans up on their feet now, got something to cheer about now. Made this game a pretty close game with a little under 2 minutes to go in this period.
Well, according to the scoreboard, Ken Holtzlag got that goal, but I don't think that's correct. We'll get the official word later. Sinnott did get the goal from Holtzlag and Tyler Henry. 12:07 the time of the goal, 1:53 to play in the second period. And now, as you said, Kirkwood was going to pick up a penalty after the goal. It's Mark Thawley who picked up an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Also at 12:07. And now it's going to be a power play for Parkway Central, who just made it 2-1. Tyler Henry into the zone. 4-on-3 they're playing. Gerhardt with it. Out to the right point for Trevor Henry. Works into Tyler, a shot. Oh, and he scores! It went off the post, hit Barella in the back, and rebounded into the net. As Trevor sets up his brother Tyler, and we're tied 2-2.
Where you want to shoot the puck from.
Just about 14 seconds after Parkway Central makes it 2-1, Tyler Henry ties it up 2-2 from Holtzlag and Gerhardt. That puck came from Henry. I'm sorry. I have it written for me here. It was Tyler Henry from Holtzlag and Gerhardt, but that was Trevor Henry setting his brother up. on that play, I'm pretty sure. And it's tied up 2-2, and the Parkway Central fans have gone nuts on the other side of the field. Here's Tyler Henry with the puck for Parkway Central. Minute and a half to go in the period. Tries to center one, but Cranston couldn't get to it, and Herwick will just dump it the length of the ice. No icing on this play. Minute 15 to go. Bockel out of the net, clears it up the boards for Tyler Henry. Works in front of his own zone, up to Holtzlag. Holtzlag 2-on-2 with Cranston. Holtzlag in a zone, a shot. And I believe that play was offsides, and I believe Holtzlag is going to get a penalty now for delay of game for taking the shot after the whistle was blown. Obviously, way up here in the fourth level, I couldn't have heard a whistle.
Absolutely, a good call, I think. He could have hit the goaltender just as easy with that shot and maybe hurt him. I think it's a good call, and there's no way that he didn't hear the whistle.
It was obvious that Barella heard the whistle because he was making no attempt to be in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was no attempt to be there.
Parkway Central penalty. Number 13, Ken Holtzschlag. 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Now Holtzlag, of course, saying that he didn't hear the whistle, but
yeah, you can say that all you want, but when everybody else in the ice stops and you got the puck and you shoot it.
They have to admit, too, though, the defenseman, or the I should say the defender on the play, wasn't exactly letting him up. I mean, you know, he didn't skate away. So for the next minute or so, it's 4-on-4. There's under a minute to go in the period. Kirkwood with the puck. Ryan Girl with it in across the line. He'll just shoot it in behind the goal. 50 seconds now to play in the period. Over for it is Herwick. He'll try and get it back on the point for Cross. Held in by Girl. Over in the middle for Campbell. He shoots it in for Herwick, but it was taken away from him by Kaufman for Parkway Central. Kaufman passes in front of his own goal, and Tyler Henry, or I should say Lyons, tried to shoot at the length of the ice. He missed it, but the puck rebounded past him or under his stick and down in the zone. Shot back out to center. Herwick with 20 seconds left in the period. Works into the zone. He's knocked hard off the puck by Kaufman. And Kaufman will just flip it high in the air back to center. Campbell with it for the Pioneers. He'll shoot it up. Held into the zone by Lyons. He'll dump it into the corner with 5 seconds to go, and that should do it in this period. Well, after Kirkwood took the lead 1-0 in the first, they added a goal in the second, but Parkway Central came roaring back, tied it up at 2-2. There is going to be an intermission between the second and third period. We'll be back to talk about the game in 2 minutes. You're listening to the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup on the Show Me Radio Network. And back at the St. Louis Arena, we're about to get started with the third period of play. It's the Central Colts 2, the Kirkwood Pioneers 2.
And the MidStates High School Hockey League will have a season-ending senior all-star game at Afton Ice Rink March 1st, 1992 at 6:45 p.m. Sunday at 6:45 p.m. Tickets are $2 at the door. The American Conference made up of the North and West Divisions and the National Conference of the South and Central Divisions. Every MidStates team will be represented, also the all-star cheerleaders.
I understand that some of the cheerleaders that are on hand tonight from Parkway Central, the Parkway Central squad, is the squad that in fact was picked as the all-star cheerleaders, I think. are about set to get going. I also wanted to mention that there is a JV tournament similar to this one going on right now with the junior varsity squads, and CBC is involved with that final with Vianney. CBC has won 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 of the last 9 years. CBC was the champions in junior varsity. We're about to set to get going for the third period here. Both teams will start the period one man short. There is 7 seconds left in Mark Thawley's penalty and 55 seconds left in Ken Holtzlag's penalty. Well, we haven't solved anything yet. Still 2-2, and we're underway in the third period. Off the draw in his own zone cross. Gets it up on left wing for Ryan Girl for Kirkwood. He's knocked off the puck by Cranston. Near his own line, Cranston. And the puck apparently got outside the line, and it was brought back in offside, so we get an early stoppage in play as Kirkwood now moves on the power play. .46 to go. We've only played about 14 seconds of this period. And Kirkwood is on the power play for another 40 seconds. Cross with the puck for the Pioneers, up to Girl. Center ice for Campbell. We'll dump it in on net for Bacco, and he'll cover up on the puck and get a stop. Finally, they blow the whistle. A little confusion there on the play. Scott Bacco was trying to cover up the puck, and I guess the linesman did not blow the whistle for 3 or 4 seconds. The players were unsure what to do. Eventually, Bacco played it out in front, but it was right after they blew the whistle, and there'll be a face-off deep inside the zone with 29 seconds to go in Ken Holtzlag's minor penalty.
Kirkwood would love to get something here right now. I think this third period is going to be a lot of hitting, tight checking, and I think the chances will probably be pretty few.
Out at the point after the draw, it's shot by Campbell, saved by Bacco. Centers one is Thawley, but nobody there for the Pioneers, and Cranston takes it for for Central. Into Tyler Henry, in the zone. Tyler Henry and a shot, and Barella a kick save, and the rebound comes out in front for Ryan Girl. Back 3-on-3. Into the zone for Herwick. Into the corner. Herwick goes, taken out of play by Sinnett. Sinnett up to Tyler Henry, and he'll just dump it to Holtzlag out of the box, but unlike the NHL, we've got another one of these rule change type deals. When you come out of the box, you have to touch up on your own blue line or you're offsides.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So a whistle stops play, and Ken knew that. I don't understand exactly what he thought he was going to accomplish by racing into the goal. I guess he figured he's at the arena, you may as well play like the big guys do.
Get that crowd up, get them cheering.
So 13:01 to go in the third period. It's 2-2, the Colts and the Pioneers. And this next goal, I guess, is going to be a real big one.
Oh, absolutely.
Off the draw just inside the line. The Colts clear it. The link to the ice. Icing waved off. Back behind his own goal is Thawley. He's ridden out on the play. Gets it up, though, on the boards for Girl on left wing. Ryan Girl will dump it into the central zone. Gets in around the boards. Neiman had to go behind him. Held in, though, by Hisrick. But it's knocked off of his puck by Sinnett and cleared to center ice. Hisrick for the Pioneers with the puck. Dumps it across ice and into the zone. And Gerhardt intercepts for Central. Tries to lead a pass in for Kaufman. And a penalty now coming up. Must be on Parkway Central as they get the puck. It looks like Sean Gerhardt, or I'm not sure if that's Gerhardt or Sandler that's going to get the penalty. I think it's Gerhardt for slashing. And very importantly, now Kirkwood is going to get another power play.
Parkway Central penalty, number 22, Sean Gerhardt. 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalty, 1:41.
So it was Sean Gerhardt picked up the slashing call, and a 2-minute power play for Kirkwood.
Another chance to pull ahead.
Now that power play unit's probably starting to get tired. They keep getting out there.
It could be, because they got to do something here, because I think Central's taking a little bit of momentum away from Kirkwood.
Ken Holtzlag had the puck off of him, and the play is offside. 12:08 to go, third period. Let's take a break. You're listening to St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup on the Show Me Radio Network. And from the arena, you are listening to the MidStates Hockey Championship game on KASP in St. Louis. Joel Becker and Rick Mahar. And the Pioneers on the power play dump it into the Parkway Central zone. Going back for it is Turner. Up on the left wing boards for Henry. Ahead of him and Holden at the point by Cross. Now Herwick will give it over to Thawley. He puts it in front, but Girl was being checked on the play by Turner. Puck is loose, is sent around the boards. Herwick with it. In the near corner. Herwick out at the left point for Campbell, a drive, and he put it wide. Girl couldn't tip it, and Holtzlag will tip it out to center ice. Campbell let it get in, and now the play is offsides. He had a tip off of his stick, rolled into the zone, and
it was almost a good play. He waited till his man got outside the blue line, and
he tried to anyway, but
just didn't wait quite long enough. But.
Yeah. Rick Eschelbach and Tom Draper, the linesmen tonight. Bob Cunningham, our referee. 11:29 to go. In regulation time, we're knotted up at 2. We will go to overtime, obviously, if this game is still tied, but there's still plenty of time for that.
They go sudden death in overtime?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I think they do for this particular game. Usually they go to a mini game, but for this game, I believe they're going to go to sudden death immediately. Now there's under a minute to go in the Kirkwood power play. The puck is sent into the Pioneer zone. Back for it in his own zone, Ian Campbell. Over to Mark Thawley. Works to center. Thawley will dump it into the central zone. Over for it is Turner going back. It will shoot it around the boards, and it does go off the boards and down the ice. Varela, as it went on net, makes the play and sends it back out, and now a whistle stops play as the net had been knocked loose. Somebody else, I think it was Holtzlag again, or no, that is Tyler Henry, I believe, who went and knocked the net off.
We're pretty close to a record now, how many times that net's been knocked off its moorings.
Well, I don't know. I've done a lot of games in high school, and especially in younger kids' games when they don't use anything to hold the net down. When you're up at this level, a lot of times the same age kids, Bantam or midget, same age kids, and they're not using anything to hold the net down. It gets knocked off every time the goalie goes from one side to the other. So 10:45 to go, third period, still knotted up at 2. 22 seconds to go in the power play for Kirkwood. Central dumps the puck in. Behind his own goal, Cross will try and work to center. It's intercepted by Kaufman. He had it there with Lyons, and they kind of got it lost in their stick and lost an opportunity. Ryan Girl coming back for Kirkwood. Gets the puck over the red line. Girl will try and dump it in, but can't. It went off of Kaufman's skate. Now Kirkwood is offsides on the play as they kind of anticipated that puck getting in. 10:14 to go, third period. 2-2 our score. You're listening to the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup on the Show Me Radio Network. Back at the St. Louis Arena, Joel Becker, Rick Mahar. 2-2, Pioneers and Colts. If it stays this way, it will be a sudden death overtime period. And should be interesting to see if that happens. Off the draw, the puck is cleared to the Kirkwood line. Cranston out of the box. Both teams are now at full strength with 10 minutes to go in regulation time. Bockel will send it up to center ice for Holtzlag. He lost it. Goes back into his own zone. Up for Tyler Henry on right wing. Tried to work it into the zone. Got the puck across the line. Herwick had it taken away from him by Holtzlag. Holtzlag trying to work in. Tried to center one. Had Cranston in front, but the puck went off his stick. Cranston got it behind the net, though. And watched by Isrick. Puck loose in front. And Barella knocks it to center. And finally, the puck is tipped to center ice. Now going after for it is Herwick. Herwick into the zone. A shot. And down to block it is Sinnott. Herwick gets his own rebound. He is misses a check by Cranston, and Cranston gets the puck. 2-on-2, back to center with Tyler Henry. Brad Cranston into the zone. Now getting back are Kirkwood as Cranston tries to center one, gets it to Holtzlag. Back behind the net to Cranston. He tries to center one, went off a Barella stick, back to the point of drive, and that went off a stick, and now is cleared out to center. Eric Quint with the puck for Kirkwood. He lost the puck, and now Tyler Henry in on right wing for Cranston, and over the line, a shot. Barella makes the save, and the rebound is cleared away by Thawley of the Pioneers. Good pressure now for Central right now.
Yep, shot that puck pretty well. They had to make a good save.
Now a long shot in for Hissrich from the red line. Backel turned it aside. The puck is loose in the corner. Ryan Groh going after for it, has it, centers it, but it's intercepted there by Moreau. Now here is Cranston with the puck. He works in, over the line, is ridden out on the play, and Campbell tips it to the boards. And not out. Held into the point by Trevor Henry. Behind the goal for Cranston. Went over his stick. And now I think that is Gainey with the puck. He shoots it in front of his own goal. Kaufman fans on a shot and then slashes a player but gets away with it. Now he's down on the ice and slow in getting up. And the linesman stopped play.
Kind of a delayed reaction, but I think really happened to him.
I think he must have gotten either slashed or kicked or somehow hit on the play, because he obviously took offense to it, slashed the player that did it as he was leaving, as the player was going away, and then decided, well, that hurt, so I'm gonna have to fall down and take a rest, and that's what he did. It looks like Kirkwood is gonna pick up. Let's see if this is one of those situations where the referee obviously did not see it.
Yeah, he was watching the play in the corner. A couple guys
now
bumping each other, but
here's another USA Hockey rule that's the amateur governing body of Mid-States that's slightly different from the NHL, and that is that the linesman can inform the referee about injury potential penalties, whether or not they're majors. Now in the NHL, in the three-man system, which is what they're using tonight, in a lot of kids' games they use a two-man officiating system, but tonight they're using the same three-man system as you see in the NHL. In a normal three-man system in the NHL, the linesman can talk to the referee about majors.
I think it's a good idea. I think there's so much action, so much hitting going on in these games. The referee almost needs some help once in a while. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
So in this league now, the linesman can talk to him about minors as well. He doesn't have to assess the penalty, but he can. No penalties were assessed on that play. Eckerd tries to shoot the puck in. The puck is loose in the corner and picked up by Trevor Henry for the Colts. Tries to clear it, not out, held in by Cross for a minute, and then the puck is shot out to center. Campbell with it for the Pioneers into the zone. And the puck is shot out and brought back in offsides by the Pioneers. 7:38 to go, third period. We're still knotted up at 2. You're listening to the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup on the Show Me Radio Network. Back in the St. Louis Arena. Pretty good game tonight in the finals. Couldn't ask for anything better. A lot of these ones are pretty blowouts. Yeah, kind of like the Super Bowl. Trevor Henry with the puck for the Colts dumps it into the zone. This one is knotted up at 2 with under 7.5 minutes to go. Puck is centered, but nobody there for the Colts, and Herwick tries to go back for it for the Pioneers. Puck shot in by Central. They're offsides, a delayed call, and they clear the zone. Cross with the puck, trying to work to center for the Pioneers. Adam Cross in over the blue line. Cross with Herwick, and couldn't get the puck to it. Tried to shoot it, went off a leg, held in at the point though. Now on the near side, Cross tries to shoot it in front. Trevor Henry intercepted it, tried to clear it out, but Campbell held it in. Puck is loose, sent up to Lee Kleiner at center. Puck knocked off his stick. Jackson back in, has a goal tonight, gets a shot off, but it went off a stick and wide of the goal. Now puck is loose near corner. It is shot in front. Pioneers have it. Jackson tries to send it in, and Lyons just sends it out to center ice. There is Herwick with the puck. Has it taken off of his stick. Holtzlag back for Central with Tyler Henry and Cranston. Over the line, Holtzlag a shot, and he put it just wide off the boards, and it's tipped to center by Herwick. Cranston over to Gerhardt toward his own line, couldn't handle the pass, will retreat for it, and we'll send it up on left wing. Really nobody there, and Hissrich for Kirkwood makes the pass. Now Tyler Henry back in over the line, across the line, a shot. And Barella a save, and he hangs on. And now a little pushing and shoving in the crease. As Brad Cranston came in looking for a rebound, and just like your buddies in the NHL, they watch TV here, I guess, at the high school players and decide that's
Absolutely.
good enough for them.
Nobody gets near that goaltender.
And the face-off now will be outside the zone, as apparently the defenseman came in across the top of the line. Either that or it's possible from our vantage point, it's hard to see, it's possible that puck might have just been not even touched by Barella and became lodged on the outside of the net. And that may be why they put the face-off outside the zone. 5:53 to go in the third period. We're still knotted up at 2 apiece.
That's been an entertaining game of hockey so far, I'll tell you. It's one of the few games I've seen. It's pretty good hockey.
Sandler on the draw, won it for Central, and they shoot the puck in the zone. Out of the point, a shot. Barella with a blocker save, and Hisrick picks up the rebound. And now Neiman is drilled into the boards, and Central holds it in, puts it in behind the goal. After for it is Vining, couldn't get to it though. And Hisrick pushes a man down. Puck is loose on the far boards. Kaufman has it. In front, he tried a shot, but down to block it, I think, is Neiman. And Gainey up to Girl for Kirkwood. Tries to get in around a man. Does get around Sinnott, but Bacco way out of the goal. Clears it. And now a play is in offsides, as Hisrick got the puck, but I believe either Gainey or Girl was underneath one of the Central players inside the zone, and the play is offsides.
Yeah, he was being pinned.
No call on the play.
Tell you what, Brian Sutter would love this kind of hockey. This is kind of hockey, about 100 hits a minute.
Maybe, I know he's got a son, Sean, who's in the squirt age division these days. He's got about 3 more years, and then maybe he can...
well, he's probably playing the same way Brian did all his career.
Sean's a good skater. Plays over at Creve Coeur on their Squirt AA team.
Yeah, I've skated with Sean a couple times. He's going to be a good little hockey player. He skates, you're right, he skates well, handles the puck well, he shoots the puck really well.
That's like a Blues Connection team down there, the Squirt AAs, with Blake Dunlop coaching. Connor Dunlop, his son, one of the players on that team. Bernie Federico has a kid that plays on that team. Brian Sutter, as we said, has a kid on that team. Face-off just outside the central zone. Herwick and Holtzlag, and the puck is loose on the near boards, and Tyler Henry will dump it in for Holtzlag. Then across the line, a shot saved by Barella, and the puck is not out, held in by Turner at the left point. He's drilled to the boards. Now here's Herwick trying to work in. He gets in across the line, taken out by Holtzlag, and the puck is sent to center. There's Tyler Henry with it. Tyler Henry, and the puck is kicked away. Now it's taken in offsides by Turner at the Kirkwood blue line.
What impresses me about these kids is they're so strong on their skates. They're unbelievable how strong they are. They don't get knocked down very often. If it is, it's a hit against the boards or somebody, but they're very strong.
You see a very wide range of talent in high school hockey in St. Louis. There are a lot of kids that are playing in junior varsity and in other programs that maybe aren't as strong as these two programs, that are really guys that are hardly out on the ice for hardly their first time when they start the year. And then you get teams like this that, like you said, have some really strong skaters that have probably been playing since they were mites. 4.5 minutes to go in regulation time. Puck is sent in deep. Girl with the puck shot, they score! Girl knocked it off of his own defender, and it went right in the net. And he's got to be hating that.
What a tough break.
That is a very tough. I don't even know who's going to get credited for the goal for Parkway Central, but Ryan Girl, one of the best players on the Pioneers, working behind his own goal, made, I guess, what's an ill-advised pass as he put it out in front of his own net. I guess that's why they say don't ever work in front of your own net like that. Shot it, went off of a defenseman's skate.
That's too bad, because a game this good shouldn't end like that.
Yeah,
I mean, both teams just played too hard. You know, it's an unfortunate thing for Kirkwood, but those things do happen.
Scored by number 12, Greg Lyons. Assisted by number 24, Jeff Sinnott. And by number 19, Todd Kaufman. Time of the goal, 9:37. Lyons, assisted by Sinnott and Kaufman. Time of the goal, 9:37.
Well, they give Greg Lyons the goal at 9:37. They give assists on the goal, but I hardly think it's necessary. A shot! And it gets off of Bachel's glove. It goes wide of the goal. Back to action here. Central, Kaufman tips the puck around cross 2-on-1. There's a shot by Kaufman. Barella save, rebound shot, and it's knocked off of Barella, and now the whistle blows, and that was a hand pass that they blew the whistle on. Under 4 minutes to go in the third period, Parkway Central has just taken the lead 3-2 on a fluky goal by Greg Lyons. We'll take a break. You're listening to the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup on the Show Me Radio Network. Back at the St. Louis Arena, Joel Becker, Rick Mahar. Under 4 minutes to play in regulation time, the Central Colts, Parkway Central has the lead 3-2 on a very fluky goal. It's, again, like we were saying, it's tough. I think Central, although I'm sure they would want to win this game, would almost like to win it, get another goal or two. Here's Herwick in across the line, tripped down by Turner, but no call. Cranston with the puck, he's taken down on the play. It's centered, but Central intercepts the pass and they ice it as the puck crosses the red line. Icing called against Parkway Central. And now Kirkwood has about 3.5 minutes to tie this game up, and I think Parkway Central would just as soon get another goal that was maybe a little bit better than that one. I mean, Ryan Girl practically scored that goal for Central. 3:33 to go in regulation time. Horwick on the ice with Girl and Thawley. They pretty much have their power play unit out, does Kirkwood. Basically their best skaters because they need a goal. We'll be watching in the next couple of minutes for Kit Barella to head to the bench. This is the closest game that I have seen in the finals in some time. Tyler Henry with the puck for Parkway Central. Almost overskates it, gets it up on right wing for Holtzlag. It's taken off away from him by Campbell. Then Trevor Henry will send it to the Kirkwood line where Cross will dump it back in for Kirkwood. Now the play is starting to get a little chippy as we're seeing a lot of sticks come up. Herwick dumps it into the zone. Thawley going in after for it. Into the far corner. Mark Thawley tries to center one. It goes off a leg. Loose in front. Herwick a shot. Loose. And the play is, and the puck is shot the length of the ice. Icing coming up as the puck was loose in front. Bacco made the initial save.
That's the way the game should be played, I'll tell you. It's fun to watch.
And the play's starting to get a little chippy, too.
Yeah, a little bit.
As some hands getting up on those checks. For the most part today, most of the checks have been relatively clean, especially for high school games. You don't see them getting their hands up for the high stick there, which you might. 2:46 to go. Face off in front of Scott Bacco. They fight for it in front. Puck comes loose and picked up by Lyons, and he'll shoot it the length of the ice. Again, as it crosses the red line, icing called against Parkway Central. I was saying before about the junior varsity tournament. The finals, like this one, is going to be at the Afton Ice Rink on Friday, February 28th at 8:45 p.m. CBC and Vianney earlier, a 7:30 p.m. start. Webster and Chaminade play in the third place game. 2:37 to go. Face off in front. Thawley a shot, and he put it about 3 feet wide. Puck comes out to the point, held in by Thawley. Over to Cross. He'll send it in, and it's knocked back out toward the point by Sinnott. Into the near corner. Gerhardt and Girl fight for it. It's shot off the back of the net. Puck is loose in front. Puck is still loose. It's shot behind the goal by Kirkwood, and Kaufman picks it up for Parkway Central with 2:12 to go, and he will shoot it the length of the ice. And again, icing called against Parkway Central. They're playing, I guess, the defensive style, let's just get the puck and get it out of the zone.
I think maybe they're trying to make the linesman tired or something. I don't know, but they're Probably the coaches told him, don't play with it, get it out of the zone. If you got to take an icing, we'll win the face-offs and go from there.
Kirkwood going with their power play unit. Tyler Henry, Ken Holtzlag, and I believe Todd Kaufman out for Parkway Central with Gerhardt and Sinnott. Back on the back lines, 2:07 to go, 3-2 Parkway Central in a close game. Sinnott with the puck for Central, gets it out and dumps it off the boards to center. Now here's a puck shot into the zone. Bockel coming out of the goal will leave it, and instead he passes it up in front of his own goal for Cranston. Up to Tyler Henry, trying to work in, can't get in around Campbell. Does get the puck deep into the zone though. Back for it is Cross with 1:45 to go. We'll be keeping an eye on Kit Barella, seeing if he gets off the ice. Here's Campbell up for Girl, 3-on-3. Ryan Girl will work in, but it's offsides as Thawley could not hold his skate in on the right side. And play is stopped with 1:33 to go. And 3-2 Parkway Central Colts.
These guys got to be getting a little tired by now, boy. I tell you, they played a good hockey game, hard hockey game, lots of hits, skating well. These guys have been on the ice now, I think, for the last 6 or 7 minutes.
Parkway Central has not ever won this tournament. Kirkwood has won it several times, about 5 times in the past, including last year. DeSmet has won it the most times overall, 8 times for the DeSmet Spartans. Now under 1.5 to go, puck loose behind the goal up to Todd Kaufman, held into the point by Cross. A shot goes wide of the goal, over to the far corner. Herwick there. He puts it out to the point. Other side for Cross. Winds up a drive, and Bockel got a blocker on it, and the rebound goes loose and picked up by Ken Holtzlag. With 1:08 to go, Holtzlag into the zone. Barella still in nets for Kirkwood. Herwick takes the puck off of Holtzlag's stick. Now it's loose. Holtzlag gets it back, a shot, and Barella makes a big save.
Big save.
And hangs on to the puck as he has kept the Pioneers in this game with now under 1 minute to go. After tonight's game, we will take a break and have a post-game show. We'll try and pick up the presentation of the plaque. I know Rick has got to go downstairs to be involved with that, and then we'll have a post-game interview. 55 seconds left in regulation time. Parkway Central on top of Kirkwood, 3-2. Off the draw, Holtzlag with it to Tyler Henry. Puck is loose in the near corner. Ryan Girl picks it up for Kirkwood. Kit Barella heads toward the bench. Girl will drive it in. Bockel with a kick save. Sinnott picks it up for Central. He tries to get it out of the zone. Can't. Held in for a second at the point. Now Girl with it. He'll shoot it in. 35 seconds to go. Puck is loose. Thawley couldn't hold it in. It is held into the point by Cross, though. The Kirkwood net is empty, and a penalty now called, or I should say a hand pass called on Parkway Central, and there'll be a face-off with just 27 seconds to go. It's crunch time now. 27 seconds to go in regulation time. Parkway Central 3, Kirkwood 2. The Kirkwood net is empty. They've got 6 skaters on the ice. Herwick taking the draw with Holtzlag. Holtzlag got it back out to the point. Campbell a drive. And Bockel a stick save. Out to the point. Herwick kept it in. Over to Thawley. Tries to center one. Does. A shot. Bockel a save. Rebound. The puck is loose on the far boards. Hisrick a drive. Bockel a save, but the net has come loose. And play has been stopped with 12 seconds. And there'll be a face-off. 12 seconds left. And a delay of game call coming up here on Parkway Central. And from one perspective anyway, that's going to benefit Parkway Central because they can now ice the puck without having to worry about that puck, the play being called as soon as it goes across the line. Ken Holtzlag picking up the delay of game call with 12 seconds to go. There'll be a face-off deep inside the central zone, or are they going to have it outside? We're looking to see. we're looking to see where they're going to drop the puck right now. They put it out at center ice. 12 seconds left right now. The Kirkwood net is empty. We've seen goals be scored in less time than this. And I believe that it was because it is within the last 2 minutes of the final period or overtime. The reason why they brought the puck out to center was because we're going to get a penalty shot on that call. They're going to say he deliberately displaced the goal. Now this is a gutsy call for Bob Cunningham. Took charge. And they couldn't have set this up to be more exciting than it is right now. It looks like Mark Thawley is going to take the penalty shot, or we'll see. I don't know, he was skating out there. Now he skates back to his bench. We'll see who they decide to send out. It's going to be the captain's decision as to the penalty shot for deliberate goal displacement. And Scott Bockel has one heck of a burden on his shoulders right now. Ryan Girl is going to take the shot for Kirkwood with 12 seconds to go and his team down a goal. He could tie it up here and send this one to overtime. Or if he doesn't, there'll still be another 12 seconds to go after the penalty shot is over. Ryan Girl will have 5 seconds from the time he touches the puck to get a shot off. He gets one and only one shot on Scott Bockel. Bob Cunningham right now explaining to Scotty Bockel that he's going to get one shot, no rebound, and that Scott must stay in the crease until Ryan touches the puck. I got to tell you, they've been doing this now since 1972. There have been some close games. A 2-1 game to Smet and Biani the first year they did this. A few years ago, it was a 7-5 game to Smet and CBC, a 4-3 game Hazelwood East and to Smet. But this is about as close as you get. Ryan Girl is ready. He's standing at his own blue line. He heads toward the puck. He's got it. He's in across the line. Bockel out of the net. Works in a shot. Bockel to save! And Parkway Central goes nuts. Scott Bockel and his experience coming through there, I think, for Parkway Central. 12 seconds in regulation time and his team up 3-2. The best player on the Pioneers, Ryan Girl, or the leading scorer, I should say, for the Pioneers, Ryan Girl. 38 goals on regular season play, 27 assists for 65 points to lead the entire league in scoring. 12 seconds off the draw, the puck is in the corner. And play is stopped with 6 seconds to go. Ryan Girl, the leading scorer in the entire league with a penalty shot with 12 seconds left. Scott Bockel stood him up and stoned him. And that's got to hurt Ryan Girl now. He has got to be in a really bad mood, I would think, because he was the guy from behind the net that shot the puck off of his own defender into the net. to give Parkway Central their 3-2 lead, and now he had a chance to redeem himself. Couldn't do it. 6 seconds left. The puck is dropped. It's loose out. Hisrick, a shot. It goes off a player with 1 second left, and that'll do it. Parkway Central has beaten Kirkwood by a final score of 3-2. And they win the St. Louis Blues Challenge Cup by a final score of 3-2. And their fans have gone nuts. Very emotional for this high school team, for Parkway Central. It's got to be very disheartening for Kirkwood. But they gave it a good effort. This is the best game I've seen, very closely matched game in some time in the finals. We'll be back for the post-game show in a couple of minutes. Thanks for tuning in for the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup. This is the Show Me Radio Network.
After the victorious Parkway Central Colts have just won the MidStates Challenge Cup by beating the Kirkwood Pioneers. Great game, Scotty. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Scott Bockel's my guest here, and as many people would say, the finest goalie in the St. Louis area, the Mid-State, Tri-State, Quadra-State, or whatever. Scotty, you had just a fantastic year, and can you believe the turn of events that led to the last 12 seconds and that penalty shot where Ryan Girl, the league's top shooter, facing the league's top goalie, that ultimate utopic one-on-one confrontation?
Thank you very much. I don't know about the goaltending part, but tonight I think the penalty shot was just indicative of the heart the entire team had and the heart they gave me. They gave me a lot of strength by wrapping around me and playing tough in that last minute. I mean, that 12 seconds was everything right there.
Scotty, there was a few opportunities for Kirkwood to put that proverbial nail in your coffin. They had opportunity after opportunity when the score was 2-0, and we've had conversations this year. The good team goaltender, he hangs in, keeps his players and team in the game until they regroup, they get the wake-up call, and they come back. You did it again.
Thank you. You know, you have to credit Kit Barella. He played a fine game, and so did Kirkwood. It came down to a really bad break, and you know, I feel bad as a goalie for Kit, just knowing how that feels. But on the other hand, you really have to feel good because you take it any way you can get it.
Scotty, Kit Barella, I think he had a 1.49 average this year, and like you said, he's just a tremendous stand-up goalie. Made many, many key saves tonight, and my heart felt for him when that puck went in from behind the net. I still don't know. We didn't have the luxury of rolling the tape back to see exactly what happened. I know that Thali went back, and Sandler, for you, just went in and did a yeoman job, tied him up. The puck went behind the net. Next thing I know, the light's on, and the puck's in the net. I stated that it'd be a shame for the game to end on that note, and again, Kirkwood got that second chance.
Well, you know, going into this third period, we stressed forechecking hard and playing the Parkway style, you know, that we've been taught to play but always haven't, was to go in and force a defenseman. In that case, Andy Sandler, you know, was a perfect example of that, hustling in, and, you know, every now and then it'll cause a big break, and in this case it won a championship for us.
Tell us, what happened on Holtzlag's penalty? Did he control the puck with his hand in the goal crease, or did he knock the net off its moorings? I didn't get the official ruling.
I believe, I didn't see it myself. I was fighting with the puck, for the puck with, I believe it was Craig Herwick, and I looked back and the net was off. So I anticipate, you know, I suppose he knocked it off with his hands. But, you know, any way you can take it.
The process of elimination, so we can't blame that net moving off its post on you.
No, not
that I've ever blamed the net moving. It's those Mexican jumping beans, Scotty. Congratulations. Let's talk to your coach, the remaining players on your team, and go out and celebrate tonight.
Thank
you.
You
had a great year. Good luck, Scotty.
Thank you very much.
We're back with the coach of the winning coach tonight, Ken Whitbroad. Ken, congratulations. Your team just played such a heart-wrenching game,
right.
And guts and determination and dedication, right. Drive and desire,
right.
All of the things that you talk about.
Yeah, it was a character game because we weren't as sharp as we can play, and we played better games from a clean standpoint. But the character really came through. I was really proud of that. They didn't get down when we were down 2-0. They just kept fighting and battling and gnawing and scratching, and that's really what they did. And the only way you can do that is when you got a goaltender like Scotty Bockel that'll keep you in the game. and that's what he did.
We just talked to Scotty a minute ago, and when the score was 2-0, Ken, those nails were about to be driven into that coffin.
Right.
And there's good team goaltenders and poor team goaltenders. Kenny Dryden, Scotty epitomizes the things that Kenny Dryden did.
Right.
And really just hung in and made the big save. And there's no doubt that your guys were going to get the wake-up call.
Right.
All your motivation, you had them in position to strike. And then all of those penalties, I made the point that these penalties could work to your advantage if you could, of course, get the a shorthanded goal, but if you could fend those off, but that's when all action broke loose.
And really our captains are the ones that came to the forefront. On our first goal, Jeff Sinnott kind of got up the ice from his defensive position and really was doing some great forechecking and forced the goal, and I think he got it. And then the second goal Tyler got on a gorgeous play from his little brother, and that was about our only clean offensive play all night. But that's what counts. But our captains really showed their leadership.
They certainly did. And for the game to end with the 12 seconds and that penalty shot, I mean, it's almost like a Hollywood script. We couldn't write a better script. The league's top scorer, Ryan Girl, against the league's top goalie, Scotty Bockel, that utopic confrontation. And, I mean, the excitement, and people were on their feet. I don't know how many people were here, but they were making as much noise as the Blues, after Brett Hull scores his hat trick. The enthusiasm level was so great.
And it went on for so long because while the referee was explaining to each player what their duties or roles were in the play, and it was a loud roar. But we really felt pretty good. I know Mark Starr, my assistant coach, and I were talking while they were getting ready for the play that we thought Scotty would take care of it.
Well, he certainly did. Now, I was in your dressing room when Coach Greg Cookie Griffin came in to congratulate. And we have to give a real solid round of congratulations to the Kirkwood team, the players. They played their hearts out. The coaching staff, they were just phenomenal. I mean, it was.
And as far as execution, I really think they executed a game plan better than we did. They played much more physical in the first period, which is what we wanted to do, but they took it away from us. And you could see that they were trying to hit the home run by springing a guy on a breakaway. They're flying their wingers out real high and early, and that was working. They had a lot of breakaways early, and I think they did a great job executing their game plan. And we just limped home on guts, really.
Well,
and a goaltender.
Well, again, you're being very, very modest. We talked at the beginning of the year. Those losses at the beginning of the year are the best thing for you.
Right. We started
working with individuals, and everyone was the Lone Ranger said them trying to do it by themselves.
Right.
And you got them, united we stand, divided we fall. We were divided. We lost these games. Now let's get back to the game plan.
Exactly. You talked about a wake-up call before. That was a wake-up call for our season when after 3 games we found ourselves 1-2, and people had talked about us being a Final Four team, and here we are 1-2. So. And then the guys turned it around, and we won 18 games in a row and finished 19-2. So,
well, I'm certain that the self-fulfilling prophecy, that the fact that you were supposed to be there, you reminded them of it, but what they had to do. Congratulations, Parkway Central Colts should be very, very proud. You did a great job, Ken.
Thank you, John.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, on hand with officials of the Mid-States League is Rick Mahar of the St. Louis Blues to present tonight's awards. Will the captains of the second place Kirkwood Pioneers please come forward? Congratulations, Kirkwood. Now the 21st annual tournament champions. Will the captains of the Parkway Central Colts please come forward? Coach Ken Whitbroad will be presented with the championship coach's ring by Rick Mahar. We also have medals for the players to be given out by the cheerleading squads from each school. Now it's time to present the traveling trophy, the St. Louis Blues High School Challenge Cup, which bears the name of the previous champions in this tournament. To the 1992 champion, Parkway Central Colts. I think we'll all agree this was one to remember, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming, and please drive safely.